Her entire life, she had always been told that she was too much of an overthinker. But today, finally, someone believed her. 16-year-old Maria had been in a serious car accident. She and her boyfriend had been driving back from a party when they lost control of their car and it tumbled down an embankment. At first, Isabella thought that it was just a notification error. She thought that maybe her friend's phone had accidentally turned itself on, or something like that. But then the texts continued, and they were clearly written by Maria. She turned around to see the same doctor, who had called her standing there. He looked pale and shaken. "We found this in the coffin," he said, holding up a cell phone. It was Maria's. On the screen was a final message that made the blood run cold. "Don't look for me. It's watching now." Then the screen went dark. The last thing Isabella remembered was the feeling of dread that had fallen over her as she realized what those words meant. Whoever was watching them had been in the coffin with Maria. And now that she was gone, the entity was watching Isabella. "I'm not dead. Help," one of the texts read. Of course, Isabella thought this was strange. How could Maria be texting her when she was in a coma? So she quickly called the hospital to ask if she had somehow regained consciousness. But the hospital staff told her that Maria was still in a coma and hadn't changed at all since she de-arrived 2 days earlier. The news reported that there was no chance of survival. "Please tell my parents that I'm still alive," another message read. "I'm so sorry, but I just got off the phone with the police," he said. "We need to dig up Maria's grave. Her coffin has apparently been scratched from the inside." Isabella felt a chill go down her spine. This couldn't possibly be real. How could Maria have been buried alive? They quickly drove to the cemetery, where Maria's body had been laid to rest 2 days prior. When they got there, a team of gravediggers had already started digging up the grave. Isabella watched in horror as they pulled up the coffin. Its surface was scratched and gouged, as if someone was trying to claw their way out from inside. As the coffin was lifted out of the grave, the lid fell off, revealing what should have been Maria's body. But when the paramedics checked the coffin, it was empty. There was no sign of Maria anywhere, and Isabella couldn't stop thinking about those messages. Something wasn't right. So she called the hospital again, and this time she asked to speak to the doctor personally. He listened patiently to what Isabella had to say. At first, he seemed annoyed that she was bothering him, but then he checked his notes. "You are right," he finally said. "It seems like Miss Perez has indeed woken up, but she must have fallen back into a coma, because I can find no record of her ever regaining consciousness. We will investigate further." And with that, he hung up on her. Both of them had been found unconscious with severe head trauma and were immediately rushed to the nearest hospital. 2 days later, Maria's best friend Isabella received a series of strange texts. Still, the texts kept coming. "They think I'm dead. I'm not." Just an hour later, Isabella got a call from the doctor. At that moment, Isabella felt a tap on her shoulder.